Hi everyone. My name is Emily Sung, and I am one of the founders here at EduBridge, a college consulting firm. Just a little about me. I graduated with my bachelor's and master's degree in materials science and engineering from MIT and have dedicated the last 5 years to working with students to help prepare them for and help them choose the university that is the best fit for them. Today, I wanted to further explore the question about selecting an appropriate university. We will answer questions such as, in addition to high ranking, what other factors should we consider when determining if a U.S. university is the right fit for you? Selecting the right university is a critical choice in helping shape a student's future. In today's world, most parents care most about a school's ranking in U.S. News and World Reports, but oftentimes this may not be the best way to choose an appropriate university for your child. Other factors such as the intended major of the student, the college culture, the location of the school, as well as cost are all important factors. For example, if a student is interested in computer science, it wouldn't make much sense to go to Yale or Columbia. And in fact, Carnegie Mellon, which is a non-top 10 school according to US News, would be a much better choice in terms of both reputation and the ability of the student to find a job in the future. In fact, even University of Illinois at the Urbana-Champaign campus may be a better choice. Similarly, if a student wanted to major in history or English, they would not go to MIT. You should do careful research on what the subject strengths of each school is and match that with the student's strengths and interests. The location of the school is also very important. For example, the campus at Stanford is very different than that of Harvard or MIT. The weather is nicer and warmer at Stanford and is located far away from San Francisco, so the campus is big and there are lots of grass and trees, and there are hundreds of computer startups just minutes away. Finding an internship or job in the tech industry would be really easy for students here, since they are in the heart of Silicon Valley. Yale, on the other hand, is located in the middle of New Haven, Connecticut. It is a city, so there is much less greenery, the weather is very cold in the winter, and it may not be very safe to walk far outside of campus at night. But in terms of city life, students have a lot of opportunity to explore outside interests such as theater, diversity in cultures, and varieties of food and art are all within easy reach. Another question that we usually get is that in terms of application, does it matter what geographic location you are located in? For public and private colleges, there may be a certain quota that they have to reach for out-of-state applicants. Private colleges generally have higher quotas than public colleges for out-of-state applicants. Both types of colleges value geographic diversity in their students because it might have an effect on what type of applicants they get in the future. Out-of-state tuition is generally much higher and sometimes even twice the cost than in-state tuition, and colleges often have a hard time getting just 5% of students from different states other than their own. If a school is not highly ranked or well known for their sports or academic programs, getting out-of-state applicants can be close to impossible. Plus, for the college, if they are able to get more out-of-state applicants, it means more in tuition getting paid to their college. So what does this mean for you? What this means is that you may have a better chance of getting into a ranked school if you are an out-of-state applicant over an in-state applicant with the same qualifications, experience, and personal background. Lastly, when discussing on how to choose a university, there is the question of cost. Some of the top schools, such as MIT or Harvard, are need blind, meaning they will calculate how much each family needs to pay and then give financial aid for the rest. Other schools, such as Stanford, are only need blind for US students, so international students will be at a disadvantage if they apply for financial aid. As you can see, there are many factors besides ranking that are important when choosing a school. I also very much encourage students to visit the schools that they are interested in and take a tour. Almost all of the schools will also offer a student the chance to stay overnight on the campus to feel what life is really like once they have been accepted. That being said, there is no drawback other than time and effort spent on applicants to apply to all of the schools that you might be interested in, and then decide once you find out which ones you have been accepted to. So that was a short talk on how to choose the appropriate university for your student and what factors you should consider. So if there are any questions, please let me know. So the question was how to find out the strengths of each university. As a first step, just going to the website of the university and looking up the professors in the field that you're interested in would be a good first step. Second, you can look at books and guides out there to find out, such as resources at the US News and World Reports, to find out what specialties the universities have. You can also go for a campus visit and talk to members of the student body, as well as meet professors there. And lastly, each student has an opportunity to stay at the university, and they can find out what their interests are there as well. Hi, so we had a question saying whether it is easier to get into a US medical school if you had gone to a US, if you studied at a US school as an undergraduate or a Canadian school as an undergraduate. And the short answer is yes, it is easier to get into a US medical school if you have gone to a college in the US as an undergraduate. This is because the US school system, they have a process of matching medical students who are applying to the medical school in a process called matching, which happens after you take the MCATs. And the in the US, they are familiar with the US undergraduate schools, and so they are able to help place students with better understanding.